Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're well. Get yourself set up. Gone for a different angle today just because of the light. I have so much trouble. This seems to be perfect. The only problem is it's very bland behind us. Yeah, I've got a couple of pictures that are down there that come down from there, and I haven't got around to putting anything back. I might have a change around and put one of my dart shirts up there. But yeah, it's a little bit bland, so you're just going to have to look at me. But hopefully the beer's going to be a little bit more interesting. So, the beer we are looking at now, in this is my first one from Lakes Brew Co, or from the order that I put in. And this is a can of their West Coast IPA. Simply named West Coast IPA, as simple as that. It's coming in at 5.6% in a 440ml can. And this come in, actually I said it's got to be about £4. I think I said about £4, which it is. Not £4, but it's about £4. £3.75 this coming at. So comparable to supermarket prices, really. Not that you see many West Coast IPAs in the supermarket, it's got to be said. So hopefully it's going to be decent. It's quite a plain, simple sort of label, but now wrong with it. And we are going to put it in the Lakes Brew glass that I purchased when I've done the order. So it's come out the fridge. God knows what the fridge is at. I only noticed yesterday that I'd unplugged it. I went to get some beers out, and they were, I wouldn't say warm, but they weren't chilled, and then noticed. So yeah, I don't know what it's set at. It's 1 to 5, the bloody thing on my fridge. I've got it at number 3. Someone knows, let me know. I'm going to guess about, I don't know, 5 degrees. I don't know. I really don't know. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. So sorry for the waffle. Too much waffle and not enough beer. So let's get it in a glass and see what we get. Lakes Brew Co. out of Kendal. Relatively new. I think June 22 was their first birthday, I think. So they're only a couple of years old. So good on them that they've managed to survive these tricky times. And Liam from Deep in Brews Reviews is a big fan of Lakes Brew Co. Local to him, so he does pick up quite a few of their things. So beer in a glass. Yeah, it's looking very much a West Coast sort of thing going on there. Slightly hazy. That sort of, I'm going to say it sort of got that, a slightly hazy sort of, I don't know, grapefruit kind of feeling colour, if you know what I mean. But it looks West Coast. Minimal bubbles going up. We got about a finger of compact white head on top. I'll give you a quick little bit of spiel off the back. Citrus, tropical and pine with a crisp, clean finish. Hops are Simcoe Cryo, Mosaic, Simcoe Cryo, Mosaic, Simcoe, Cascade and Amarillo. Water, malted barley, wheat, hop, cheese, yada, 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 yada. Right, beer in a glass. Looks like a West Coast to me. Let's give her a swirl and have a sniff, see what we get. Oh, yeah. You definitely get that West Coast feel on the nose. A little bit of grapefruit, I'm going to say, in the background. The first thing that sort of really hit me was that pine and the resinous, that resinous sort of aroma, the piney resinous aroma with grapefruit. Just behind that, in the background, is a subtle maltiness. But it smells very much West Coast. It's got to be said, it smells very, very decent. So let's get the rest in there. And it's making me salivate, to be honest. I do feel a little bit dry, but smelling that is making me... So that's the rest out the can. Looks fantastic in a glass. Lakes Brew Co. Their West Coast IPA, 5.6%. Cheers, everyone. West Coast all day long. That is very decent. That is a very decent beer. Let's go in again. The head on it is lovely. I know the head may mean nothing to anyone, but I think it does add. It adds to the drinking experience. It's a lovely smooth head on this beer. The body of the beer, 5.6%. I'm going to say is pretty much spot on. That is what you want. It's not washy, wishy-washy or watery, but nor is it heavy. But it's just got some weight there that when you drink it, you know. You just know. Minimal carbonation. I say minimal, small bubbles, a little bit busy in the mouth. I wouldn't say, you know, it's pretty smooth to drink, but it does just give it that little rough tingle, which isn't a bad thing. Not in this case anyway. Smooth, nice mouthfeel, decent body on it. On the taste, it's West Coast all over for me. I'm really getting a bitterness to it. A piney, for me it's pine, resinous. There's that little tingle of grapefruit in the background for me. The bitterness is pine, resinous and grapefruit as well. It's that sort of bitterness you get with it. And the bitterness lingers. I think it's got quite a strong bitterness to it, and that's what you expect from a West Coast. Yeah, that's, for me, that's very much it, the beer, if you like, the flavour. Pine, resinous as grapefruit, but as you've drunk it, or as you're drinking it, you get that subtle sort of malty note in the background, which adds just a slight sweetness to it for me. Just a slight sweetness, not a sweetness that you would think, but it maybe just takes a fraction of that edge off the bitterness. But once that goes again, the bitterness is back again. And it's real sort of, for me, the bitterness is really there at the back. That's where I'm getting the maltiness now. That's very decent, that is. And that bitterness is strong. Now, it's rare for me to say that. I mean, whether it's just because I haven't had it for a while. But I find some West Coasts, they're always supposed to be a bigger sort of bitter sort of bite to them than other sort of IPAs. But a few I've had, they haven't had that bitterness, that sort of sharp, harsh bitterness. Not harsh, but big resinous grapefruit sort of bitterness for me. This has got that, and I think that is an excellent West Coast IPA for me. Drinkable as hell, 5.6%. Do you get that? Pardon me. Yeah, I think you get that. You get that in the bitterness, that resinous, the pine, the grapefruit. I think it possibly drinks a little bit bigger than what it is. But it's got all the traits of a West Coast for me. Very decent drop. £3.75 for that. I think that is well worth a dabble. I mean, you don't see a massive amount in the supermarket, but this is for me a proper craft West Coast IPA, a proper full-on West Coast IPA at supermarket prices, and you don't tend to find that generally, do you? So yeah, Lakes Brew Co, their West Coast IPA is a banger. So if you like your West Coast, give it a go. Definitely go and check them out. I've not had much from Lakes Brew. 2, I think, possibly 3 with a collaboration with Rivington, but this one is certainly decent. So go and check them out. Maybe put in an order, show them some love. Thank you all for watching. If you've had this beer before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Hope you've enjoyed it, and Basil will see you again soon on another one. Cheers.